All right, here. So I'm presenting to you guys this awesome person from Winnipeg, Manitoba. His name, I guess all of you know him already. He's been our teacher, our mentor, our source of information, and everything that we look toward him. Platinum most of his years. Like I think you have been platinum all these years in sequence, right?
Pardon? Sorry?
You have been platinum all these years in sequence, as well I
That's
know.
correct. That's
So,
correct.
so Jesse Peter is with us today. He's going to talk about himself, about his passion in real estate industry, about serving his clients, and about the market in general. So I will hand over this microphone to Jesse Peter. Jesse Peter, stage is all yours, man. Tell us about
Hey.
who you are.
You know what? First of all, I just want to thank you, Mr. Paul Chima, for inviting me on your live streaming channel. And hello to everybody out there on Facebook Land and Periscope. The power of technology that now allows like minded people, because Paul, we're cut from the same cloth, man, to connect and share. And the audience that watches that's either watching right now live or watches it later, we're all like-minded people, and it's amazing that we can use this technology to share what we have about our market, about social, about video, and I'm really excited. It's Friday afternoon, going into the long weekend. I'm kind of excited, but I
Yeah.
do have two little kids, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so I'm going to sip some of my coffee right now because I was up really early.
And Jesse drinks coffee in his own branded cup. He doesn't take any other cup for coffee. So it's
Send them over, folks. I'll stack them all up right beside right here. So,
absolutely, Jesse. Hey, Jesse, tell us about yourself. How you got into this trade and what drove you into this actually. Like this is a huge business. It's a like frightening business for many people, but I see you have been taking strides in this business. So share something about yourself.
yeah, so I guess I'll kind of give you a little bit of this 7-year window of where things are at for myself over the last 7 years. So before I got involved in real estate, I was involved in sports and entertainment and marketing and advertising for about 10 years.
Wow.
And so that's kind of my background. So if you hear that and you're like, I get Jesse a little bit now. So I wear my marketing and advertising hat when it comes to my own personal business under the Remax umbrella, but also when it comes to giving our clients, the people who are selling their homes, the best opportunity for their home to be seen, showcased, and then sold by using the power of marketing and today's technology and video and whatnot. So I've been with Remax coming up on 4 years, and I've been 5 years in the business. And so, platinum award winner the last 4 years in a row.
Awesome.
Um, of top 2% in my city and whatnot. And you know what? I don't really. That's more of a humble brag. I don't. Their numbers are there. It has some credibility, but I love being part of this Remax family because of the conversations that happen when you can say, "Hi, I work for Remax." You don't have to explain who you're with. You have instant credibility right there,
Absolutely.
and then being able to be part of the Remax network. And it's one thing I don't think our clients are fully aware of, but when you do work with a Remax realtor,
Yeah.
uh, we have such a network across the world. If you're moving to Toronto or you're moving to Winnipeg or you're moving to Victoria or China or India or Bangladesh or Brazil or Italy, all of us like-minded people, top producing agents who work under this brand are connected. And to be able to say that to our clients, say, oh, you're moving there, I got someone that can help you just like me.
Yeah.
There's a sense of comfort there, and I don't think that's something that a lot of the brands are able to provide just because where they're positioned in their market. So I kind of got into real estate um, in a little bit of a different angle.
Hmm.
I was asked to interview for a social media manager position for
Okay.
for a boutique real estate company.
Uh huh.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm looking more for Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 gig. I got a baby on the way. That's kind of where it was. And so I interviewed, in front of the brokers, and there was 4 or 5 of them, and they said, you should be a realtor. And I'm like,
Yes.
never really thought about that,
Yes.
right? And so the next 6 months, and I started off at Goodfellow and Goodfellow Real Estate. Bob and Debbie Goodfellow were awesome. The whole crew there was awesome. So they said, we'll bring you on board. You get your license. So I studied for 6 months. And while studying, I kind of did on the job training there, right? Being able to job shadow and help out. And so right out of the gate, when I started, I sold 3 homes in my first week. And it's kind of been that momentum since.
Absolutely. That's an awesome story. Like, so you're destined to be in real estate. You know what, Jesse? I believe real estate is only marketing and your connections. This is all about we do. This is the best attitude that you bring in is negotiation. So
Mhm.
marketing and negotiation are key components of doing real estate. Anybody can put a for sale sign on the property. It's a real
Exactly.
estate, right? So, anyways, let's come back to the topic because Jesse, this video is intended for many people who are going to watch it later or who may be watching us now, and they may be thinking of relocating to your then maybe they would say, oh, okay, they're more interested in understanding how the real estate out of Toronto area looks like, and they
Yeah.
may be considering relocation options for them. Because when I came to Canada, I only knew Toronto. That's the only city I knew. So I just settled here. But maybe people who watch this from India, like you said, or Bangladesh or China or anywhere, whosoever sees this video, they will see, oh, okay, Manitoba is a good
Yeah.
option for us to move to. So this is
Yeah.
the whole purpose of bringing your market into my market area so people can get informed. So Jesse, in that same sequence, so what is your specialty actually? Are you mostly residential, or you do commercial, or you do a mix of these, or how do you handle business?
Yeah, so I would say a majority of my business is residential resale. That's kind of where I cut my teeth, and that's where I am at the point of my career with 5 years under my belt. I really love having the opportunity to to help clients who are transitioning from one chapter of their lives to the next
Yes.
through finding their home, right? Commercial, not there's some great commercial opportunities. Dotton Avenue, I spend a lot of my time in, but residential resale, um, from single detached homes to attached homes to townhouses to condominiums to cottages to the lake life, right? That's something that where I'm at. And what's funny, Paul, is we're having this conversation right now, so you can learn a little bit more about the Winnipeg market.
Yes.
In the last 7 weeks, I've helped 5 couples move from Toronto to Winnipeg.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah, like
We're talking and people are
two in
moving.
Leslieville,
Yeah.
one in downtown Toronto. Yeah, like the list is just going on, and it's people who are from Winnipeg,
Mhm.
right? Moved to Toronto for 10 years, and
Awesome.
now are coming back, right? And are coming back with a lot of smiles on their face because the market out there, it's a win-win for them.
Awesome. This is how it's so convenient for, but this is going to fuel those relocations further, Jesse.
Yeah.
So how do you define the market in Winnipeg, the real estate market?
Yeah, you know what? You know, overall, Winnipeg itself, I would say, is a balanced market. We have about 24, anywhere from 2,200 to 2,500 homes on the market right now, and our population here in Winnipeg is about 700,000. Okay,
Okay.
give or take, right?
It's a good population.
Yeah, it's a good, healthy population.
Yeah.
And when I look at the numbers, that we get from our real estate association and our experience, when I can say we're more of a balanced market
Yes.
because our homes are selling for, 98 to 99% of asking price,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that list of sold ratio. So if you're dipping down below 95%
Yes.
to 90%, you're in a buyer's market. If you're 100 plus, you're in a seller's market. And we've kind of gone from a seller's market to a balanced market. And what are some of the reasons for that? Well, I would definitely say in the last 5 to 7 years,
Yes.
we've had new developments grow, right? new neighborhoods essentially.
Yes.
So now increased inventory, right? People can now build or buy resale.
Yes.
And so we were kind of going through what you guys are going through right now, but 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So, so now you are at 99%, and you term is as balanced market. So, what price range are we looking at, and what kind of houses can buyers be considering for that particular price range?
Yeah, so I guess when you want to look at it now, when people say, "Hey, what's the Winnipeg market like?" I'll say it's more balanced, but there are pockets where it's more of a buyer's market and more of a seller's market,
Yes.
and I think we experience that everywhere.
Yes.
Now, as of the end of April of this year, the average home was selling for about $325,000.
All right.
Okay, and that's gonna get you typically 1,200 to 1,400 square foot bungalow, 2-story home, 3, 4 bedrooms, couple bathrooms in a neighborhood that I would say is probably anywhere from the 50s to the 80s, right? Somewhere in there, right? And but our first time home buyers market would be that 250 to 300 range. That's really popular. And that right now, that's going to be the seller's market right now. We do not have enough inventory
Okay.
in the last month. Like we're down about 5% in that price range from where we were last April. So there's definitely that's a seller's market right there, and it can be tough on first time home buyers right now, especially with the mortgage changes, home insurance. Those factors we're starting to see things slow up a little bit. Um,
Okay.
a touch, I would say. So yeah, 325. But if you're looking at second homes or a little bit more upper income, you
Yes.
know, the popular range for us is 450 to 600, right? And then
450 to 600.
450 to 600, and that's going to get you, 1,800 to 2,500 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Updated, finished basements, attached garages, nice sized yard, right? And you can get that price range both in resale and a new home. New
Oh,
home being new home build. Yeah.
awesome. So we got Ken McCowan join us.
Hey Ken, what's up?
Alrighty, good. So that's a pretty handsome amount considering the prices are way too contrasty to what prices Toronto and neighboring cities are offering us.
Yeah, and
So cheap. So I can sell
it's
my little home and move down to Manitoba quite
you
easily.
can live like a champion here, right? Like it's like I hear stories, and I like a home that's listed for 1 million is selling for 1.5. Well, guess what? You're coming here. You want to know what you get for $1 million? 4,000 square feet, walkout on the lake with a swimming pool. Like we got the same jobs you have, right?
That's awesome, right? That's
Right?
awesome.
And that's the thing that I
I was
don't
gonna
think
ask you
enough.
when very soon. Yes.
Yeah, right. Like the opportunities here, and sometimes people aren't tied to a neighborhood or city. It's where is it now affordable for me to live? Like in 2016, we were the lowest priced major city in the country for $305,000.
Yeah.
Right, and that's we're an affordable city.
You are. I have a very close client actually who moved from Manitoba to Brampton, and I
Yeah,
was the chosen one to help him buy a house here. And thank God he is very satisfied. And maybe he may be watching this video later on. His sons are still living, I think, around, and his one of friend has listed a house there. So
yeah.
somehow he is still looking that this guy could have better experience or better experienced area actually. Anyways, I have your name to forward to him soon.
Hey, I appreciate that, Paul.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know nobody can go wrong with you, Jesse. So, so this is a pretty good spread, like 325, 450 to $600,000. I guess people can easily afford it. So, what are the financing options for people there? The mortgage options.
Well, like in one sense, I think they're probably going to be pretty standard compared to what you guys would be looking at.
Same 5% down payment and
5% down payment. You know, if you want to avoid CMHC fees, you put 20% down. We have a lot of brokerages here as well, mortgage brokers, where they'll shop around for the best interest rate for you. The banks are always offering some great things. What else can I tell you about? Yeah, it's pretty. I would say it's probably pretty standard across the country for financing. Now, the one thing that I have noticed
Yeah.
is I've helped people come from BC and from Ontario this month, and typically here, when you're writing an offer on a home and you're putting in a finance condition,
Yes.
3 business days.
That's it.
That's it.
That's awesome. That's really
Yep.
good.
Three
So,
business days for us. Like the clients I had from BC, and they were using a broker out in BC, a mortgage broker. And he's like, no, I need 12 days or 10 business days.
wow.
That doesn't fly here, right? So you got to come in knowing, like, if you're coming from out of province, you got to know how the rules and regulations and the standards are here in Manitoba, not where they are in your province, right? Because
Absolutely.
you can get caught up in, like, well, this is how it happens out here. Well, that's why you need a realtor from the neighborhood or the city that you're moving to guide you through that. And I often recommend a mortgage broker from there, a home insurer from there, right? Everyone who knows the neighborhood.
Yes, absolutely. That's pretty standard thing. Like the area, people living that neighborhood, they will the same rules and regulations apply to everyone. It cannot be different for anyone, right? It has to be
Yeah.
same for the province wide. But
Yeah.
like in Ontario, do you also have those rebate programs for first time
For,
home buyers?
yep. Yeah, we have the first time home buyer rebate. What else do we have? Yeah, I think that's about it. The first time home buyer rebate. Now, that would obviously be something you discuss with your bank and your lender. Any sort of rebates that can help, that are good. I know the rebates are happening differently in BC as they are in Ontario. I think every province probably has a little bit of a different level of rebate, but it's always something to look into. However you can save a few bucks.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering if we are getting the audio at the other end. So I can't hear my own audio here. So wondering what's happening here, right? I don't want this to end bad actually. But I have this being recorded separately using the Zoom software as well.
Look at you.
So we have a backup available if something goes wrong, and I'm not hearing my own voice. So
I can hear you loud and clear.
yeah, you can hear me loud and clear, but I'm just saying recording system is actually
It's
transmitting my
picking you
audio there.
up. Okay, I see.
Oh my goodness.
So another thing that we've had introduced here in Winnipeg lately is, and I'm not sure if you guys have it in Brampton in your area, but it's new to our city. It's called a growth fee
Hmm.
tax, right? So anytime now there's a new build, you're paying $500 per 100 square feet on top of your lot price and your housing price. Now, this is something I think that's a way the city's trying to generate more income to put into growth, to put back, we all have our opinions, but this is,
Yes.
it's a city tax that was put in, and a lot of the new developments are the first ones that are being hit with it. And so we had a big rush of new home
Oh.
purchases before May 1st, and all you need to do was, what's the word I'm looking for? All that needed to happen was you need to pull permit before May 1st, and
Oh.
you avoid that tax. But now anyone who's looking to build now will
Yes.
have to be paying the growth tax, and so I think we're going to start to see a push on the resale side of things as well in the homes that are 500,000 and up, because people may not be willing to pay that extra cash that anywhere from like $12,000 to $24,000 in taxes, where they could be putting that into a resale home.
Oh, okay. So Jesse, you touched the employment thing for a few seconds. So like when you said you have the same jobs as we have here. So So actually, how is the job scenario there? What kind of jobs and what's the availability? Do you know the unemployment rate going on there in Manitoba?
Yeah, you know what? We got about 450,000 people in the workforce right now, and we have an unemployment rate of just over 6% at the moment. And but I would say our
6%. Okay.
6% unemployment, right?
Yeah, you know
I
what?
would
We got
say,
about
we're kind of a mix of industry, from government to military to a lot of large transportation industries, because we are a central hub to the entire, to the east, to the west, to the south. And a lot of we're starting to get a lot of commercial headquarters coming to Winnipeg because of the development opportunities that we're providing. So we also are, um, what's the word I want to use? Open arms to a lot of immigration. Our province has set that up that way. We have a lot of first time Canadians and immigrants coming to our city. East Indian, Filipino, Eastern European. We're kind of a hub,
So you
right?
have
That's
quite a good mix of people coming down to your place.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the thing I love about our city and our province too, is the diversity and the cultural diversity, and all kind of coming together, and it's that's also what Canada was built on as well. So it's really I'm excited to raise my children in that environment. I think that's really important.
Excellent, very nice. So for those who will be watching this video from here on, or who just join us, well, this is Paul Chima, and I have my guest Jesse Peter from Winnipeg, Manitoba, talking about real estate in Winnipeg. He knows Winnipeg like back of his hand.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it. And the interesting thing he's telling us that for a first time home buyer, this is a really good opportunity. If you're coming to Canada, Winnipeg could be your first home. And the prices are between 270, 300,000, $325,000. You will get a 50 to 80 years old house. That's right. Old neighborhoods, but it will be a starter home. You can begin things from there and move upwards to maybe up to 2,500 square foot house, which might cost between 450 to 600 grand, and that always depends on the neighborhood you guys move in. So
That's
Jesse
correct.
here, Jesse, what about the investment point of view? If someone has to invest money into, say for example, land or some residential properties there which they can
Mhm.
lease out, what are the options for them?
Well, there's definitely opportunity for investment. Well, foreign investment opportunity, investment within your province, in the newer developments, because they are still growing and they are still building. There's lots of that, and what we've actually seen, in some of the newer neighborhoods, the Bridgewater Lakes, Bridgewater Forest, Cell Point, Sage Creek, Amber Trails. People are either building homes for their families
Yes.
while their kids come over here and go to school, like to university. Um,
Okay.
Also, that it's a great rental opportunity. Now our vacancy rate is below 2%
Awesome.
in our city. So, that's also a good investment opportunity, where if you're looking at an 1,800 square foot new build home, you could be getting, 3 to 4 grand a month.
That covers up most of the things actually. Basically,
Yes, yes, it would.
so in Ontario, they just changed so many things here, right?
Yeah,
The Residential Tenancy Act (RTA) is undergoing sea changes where landlords will be having less and less control over tenants, and they cannot kick them out just by saying that they need house for their personal use. Something similar there going on too, which can make a
no.
landlord think 2 times or 10 times before renting it out.
No, there's been no updates to our Residential Tenancy Act that I'm aware of lately. That would be similar to what Ontario is going through. But there are rules and regulations, and I think anytime anyone is looking at being a landlord, um, especially if you're not in province, it's It's not as easy as seems, right? Yeah, you're looking at someone else paying
Absolutely.
your mortgage,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of rules and regulations that you really need to make sure you got good qualified tenants, but you also need to be a responsible landlord and taking care of that home and taking care of your
Absolutely.
tenants, or else you're going to get in trouble. You can't just and I think that's half the problem is the education going into it that landlords sometimes aren't even using realtors to get to make these purchases, aren't aware of, right? And
Yes.
so it's I wouldn't say there's as many hoops or roadblocks that have been put up now as compared to your neck of the woods,
Yeah.
but you need to be educated before getting down that path. I know right now it's not for me.
I guess we are getting, I'm seeing many small investors getting discouraged by the fact that they cannot increase rents after 1 year beyond the rent control guidelines. It is
Yeah,
very less. I
it's
think
1% here.
it's 1% there. It's 2.5% here, perhaps. So initially it was only applicable to buildings before, I guess, 1991, but now they have extended to every building, every house that was built. Whenever it was built, it extends to everything. That's the reason we are seeing the builders here in Toronto pitching against the government, because the condos they're building, many people are just buying them for investment, for renting out as a leasing property.
Yeah.
Things are going to be a little messy around. So thanks to our government. So, well, this is a little rant. I can't even publicly say that, but I'm just supposed to go to the political side of the world, right? Stay on
Yeah.
this side. So, so guys, if you are interested to move down to Manitoba, Jesse Peter, his number is scrolling on the screen, but I will also repeat it for him. It is 204-795-5228. For all those millennials who love those, what do you call,
Your
Twitter
handle,
handle.
your
Yeah,
handle,
yeah.
Paul.
So his handle is interesting, at Mr. Social Savvy. So it's scrolling here on the screen. You can always reach out to him. He will be available. If not, leave him a message. So
Absolutely.
your message, I guess he will get back to you ASAP. And I guess you will get a bomb video from them, from him.
Yeah, it's probably a good chance.
Right after,
Probably a good
right
chance.
after. So
That's right.
tell people something, like some newcomers thinking of coming to Canada. Um, why should they be choosing Manitoba as their preferred place of living in the first place?
Well, right, A, right off the hop, the affordability. B,
That's a big plus.
our yeah, our government regulations are open arms, right? Like I think we're probably the province that works the most with immigration and, and growing in. Secondly, our city, like our city and our province, friendly Manitoba, that is us. We are like a big town, right? It's warm, it's comforting. There's nothing like being in the prairies during the summer. The skies are beautiful. It's a prairie blue sky. Now, hey, we got our winters, right?
Yeah,
But all right, it's only a couple months of really cold, but you know what? The affordability, the friendliness, and the opportunity. There's lots of opportunity for employment here. The universities are great, the school's great, and I definitely think Winnipeg and the surrounding area of Manitoba um, should be on the radar if you're first time considering moving to our country.
yeah.
It's very important.
I guess people can get a hold of you to know more about
Absolutely.
educational opportunities and what kind of university, what kind of rating different schools have. Most of
Absolutely.
them will have a big criteria about schooling of their kids. Universities, this is where the properties go way expensive than other areas. But it's
Yes.
worthwhile. Like if your children stay closer to educational institutions they are studying in, it
Hmm.
makes all the better. Saves tons of money renting things and all that.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if you are first time buyer, newcomer to Canada, or you are an investor thinking of investing out of Ontario now, well, this is an opportunity for you. And you don't have that silly 15% non-residence resident speculation
Nope.
tax up there.
Nope.
Aha.
Come on in,
How you
folks.
doing? Hey,
Come on in.
crowd of people, and the planes are going to be totally booked to Manitoba.
I'll be at the airport.
So, is there anything else that I may not have covered you would like to share about it?
No, you know what? I don't think you covered this point, but folks, Paul Chima is awesome. Okay. The man takes the lead on these things and runs with some of the latest technology to connect like-minded people to share information to you across this country, across the continent, across the world. And I know Paul is a humble man and won't toot his own horn, but let me do that right now. And if you're looking to get in the Brampton area, please have a conversation with Paul Chima, or at least let him take you out for an East Indian breakfast.
Absolutely. Whenever you're around next time, you are going to find me, and then we're going to go for the really hot and spicy. I'm going to burn your tongue, man.
You know what? It's funny. I sweat when I smell pepper, so I guess we'll see when that happens.
Awesome. Hey, thank you very much, Jesse. You've been so
Thank you.
kind.
My
I know your
pleasure.
schedule was quite tied up, but thank you very much for coming on this platform because I really believe people should know out of this area, and they should land with prior information that, oh, okay, I like to go to Manitoba or Halifax or Saskatchewan, where I have Cambridge cover the area. Awesome. So guys, you heard Jesse Peter, the social savvy realtor, and you saw his cap too that has that words on it. He's an awesome guy. You can't go wrong with him. And oh, some of my clients are texting me, and I'm getting it on my iPad here. So very soon we'll be talking to another amazing guest talking about his market area. So Jesse is here, 204 and he made a new website. It was jessepeters.ca before, I guess, but now it is
Yeah. Social Savvy Homes.
homes.ca. There you go. And thank you very much for those who will be watching it recorded later on and who were here for a minute or two live. We appreciate your time. Hey Jesse, man.
Thank you so much for having me on. Have a wonderful long weekend, Paul. And you know the drill.
Happy
Social. Stay social. See you later.
We need to make a song to play at the end of the show, actually. Before we go, I will just, I don't know if you will able to see that now, but I will like to show this little video for that it is about Know Your Neighbor Winnipeg
Mm-hmm.
that you made actually, Jesse. I'm going to play it right now.
Sure.
Hey there, everybody. Jesse Peters here, your social savvy realtor with Remax Executives Realty. And you're probably wondering what the heck is going on. Well, guess what? For 2015, we are helping the buyers and sellers get to know the neighborhoods of Winnipeg. So what are we going to be doing in the upcoming episodes each and every month? Well, we're going to be analyzing trends of what's happening in those specific communities' housing markets. Are things going up? Are they balanced? What to look for when they are purchasing a home? And also what to know when you are thinking about selling your home in the neighborhood as well. The number one thing when people are looking to buy a home is the neighborhood. So we're going to look at, hey, what are the amenities in the neighborhood? We're going to connect with businesses. We're going to see what's going on with the communities. We're going to look at little secret hidden gems. It's just going to be fun. We're going to explore, and we're going to get to know your neighborhood. So you got to stay tuned each and every week, and you got to share, you got to like, you got to love. And guess what? You're going to get a lot of this, but ultimately, we're going to put more facts. We're going to give you more data, and we're going to give you the inside scoop on your neighborhood. So thanks for checking it out. And Winnipeg, you know the drill. Stay social. Each and every week, and you got to share, you got to like, you got to love, and guess what? You're going to get a lot of this, but ultimately, we're going to put more facts, we're going to give you more data, and we're going to give you the inside scoop on your neighborhood. So thanks for checking it out, and Winnipeg, you know the drill. Stay social. Tuned each and every week, and you got to share.
Oh, that's funny,
you
man.
gotta
That's
love,
from a couple
so
years
guess what?
ago.
I played that for you, Jesse.
Thank you.
On this platform doesn't give audio, but actual audio is transmitted on the other end. Actually, this is
That's awesome.
great. But anyways,
That's
thank you
awesome.
very much once again. Thanks for all the kind words, and we'll see you soon, brother.
You bet, my friend. Take care. Have a great weekend.